What's going on? This Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. And it's Sunday morning. It's a Sunday morning, a beautiful morning. Reflect on all the good boxing matches that we had yesterday. And, a lot of us are sitting here trying to gather our thoughts and draw conclusions from what we saw, what we didn't see, and just have a real conversation as pure boxing fans about what we saw last night. I'll start off by talking about the Gabe Rosado and Jaime Munguia fight, which I had labeled, I put that in my 50-50 club because I figured that was a 50-50 fight. I had mentioned that my heart was going towards Gabe Rosado because of the story and the backdrop and, having witnessed some of the fights where he got robbed and, things like that and what he was able to do to back the bully. But it's very obvious to see that the work rate and the power, how strong a young fighter like Jaime Munguia is, that it lends itself to think logically that Jaime Munguia would actually win the fight. More so because of being more effective to the body, being younger, and being way more aggressive. I think that it was a great fight because Gabe Rosado didn't come to lay down. And the conclusion I drew from watching the Gabe Rosado fight and the Jaime Munguia fight, as well as the David Benavidez and Kyrone Davis fight, boils down to one thing that I came to realize. I think I've been thinking this way, because I don't really put on knee pads and lip gloss and get my free Wi-Fi out for some of these boxers. I'm just a pure boxing fan across the board. I realize that they're mortal.
I do what I do. He knows what I'm about to tell him right now. It's Mr. Keep running your mouth. That's what I
do. I just feel like I'm the champ, and at the end of the day, I'm just a fighting motherfucker. It doesn't matter. Inside, outside, I can just fight. So I just feel like if you get down to the wire, we gotta lock it up, I'm out on top.
As you can see how I'm looking, I stay solid. I'm always solid. I stay fuck solid up, man. You know what I'm saying? To the fans and all.
You guys jump outside the ring. I'm a fighter. Like I said before, there ain't no safety on the clock, so
I'll take them how they come and make them look ordinary.
When I was a casual, I thought as a casual, I spoke like a casual, and I looked at boxing like a casual. But when I became a hardcore, I put away all those casual things. This is Michael Rogers, and welcome to Bodywork Boxing. Yes, Jaime Munguia, David Benavidez, even Kid Gallahan, we saw that they are mortal. And what do you mean, Mike? Well, based on how Jamal Charlo got ridiculed for his last fight against Montiel, in which he dominated like 10 out of the last 12 rounds, everybody puts all this extra fizz on it because he didn't get Montiel up out of there. They even went so far to say that's one of the reasons why he's not ready for Canelo Alvarez. Well, if that is the case, and they reason that because Munguia down at 47 got him up out of there, the guy Montiel, and so Charlo didn't, even though Charlo was buckling him and, just damaging him, dominating him 10 out of the 12 rounds. That's what a lot of people were saying, and that's one of the talking points that are going on right now to justify why Charlo shouldn't be first to bat at the Canelo Sweepstakes. So, I want to know, are we going to look at Munguia through those same lenses? If we're gonna be truthful and honest and say that, hey, you know, if Gabe Rosado had doubled up on some of them punches, had Gabe Rosado had been a little younger, had a little less wear and tear, had just a little more pop. If we would have had the power over Jamal Charlo, what would have happened to Jaime Munguia last night?
Let that bitch breathe.
What would have happened? And this is why we need the best to fight the best. We need people to get in there. We need veterans. We need veterans. We need a veteran, like, cause I don't see why Keith Thurman can't get in there with a boost. I don't see why. I don't see why. Like, I think that we need to see veterans. And you talking about a one-loss Keith Thurman. Just, you know, yes, he has some inactivity, and everybody, you know, going about, you know, talking about how inactivity is a boxer's, you know, worst nightmare. But let's be real. This is why we need to see these fights. Everybody I looked at and watched throughout the week was saying that Jaime Munguia was going to knock Gabe Rosado out.
Let that bitch breathe.
I said he was going to catch him and he was going to do body work. And, you know, we saw that he took a knee to back the bully, but I didn't foresee knockout. Maybe a stoppage. Maybe. But Gabe Rosado was on the verge of actually putting Jaime Munguia. He almost put his shit in park.
Let that bitch breathe.
I want to know, is Jaime Munguia going to suffer the same criticism that Jamal Charlo suffered after the Montiel?
I'll take my off and make him look good.
As I switch over to now, all of a sudden, the people's favorite, David Benavidez. So Kyrone Davis suffered a TKO defeat to David. What do we see in that fight? That David Benavidez is mortal. I think it's becoming more apparent that he's somewhat of a weight bully. And Breadman, which is Kyrone Davis, his trainer, he said something that made sense. He said David Benavidez is not a one punch knockout artist. He said he's a heavy-handed volume puncher. That means he can brutalize you as the fight goes on. However, what I saw is that he has a lot of lazy techniques. He bends instead of moving his feet. He has very fast hands, but instead of moving his feet, he bends at the waist a lot. He bends a lot. He has a lot. He overextends himself to where a patient, more poised person, you know. And I salute Kyrone Davis. He did that on a 3-week notice. That's not bad at all. That is not bad at all. That young man has nothing to hold his head down about. And I think that he actually brought some exposure. I think he highlighted some flaws. I think you can see, I've already saw that there's a lot of chinks in David Benavidez's armor, you know, as far as his lack of defense. Somebody that's a little more, I would say somebody that's taller. Somebody like a Charlo. What I can say is that David's still calling for the smoke. He's saying he want to get in there. He's saying he want to do this, he want to do that. You know, I'm really waiting. I'm giving my man Charlo, Small Charlo, Big Charlo, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. And I'm saying that he is being patient in an effort to get this Canelo Sweepstakes. But I'm gonna say right now, Jamal Charlo, you just need to go on part 2 of your killing spree, man. It's time to just go ahead. I mean, we know Triple G got Murata coming up at the end of the year. It might be the last fight of the year of some notable names. We got Andre getting ready to fight Quigley. We got who else we got? Yeah, I think it's Andre. I think it's, you gotta, call Triple G out one more time. And it's time to go ahead and give David what he wants. Big Charlo. If it's gonna be down to, you two eliminating each other, just go ahead and go up there and make a statement. Go up there and make a statement. Because he showed that he is mortal. He's mortal. I think that a lot of his flaws were put on display, and he has power, yes. But it's not the power that anybody that's very disciplined and can fight a little fire with fire but know how to move, can't deal with. That's what I learned. That was my takeaway. All in all, it was a good night of boxing. I salute Gabe Rosado for his valiant effort, because he showed some of that veteran savviness. He showed it. And I think that just like Sergio Mora was saying, like towards the second half of that fight, I believe that it started taking toll, and I think that Gabe got caught. He got caught posing a couple times, waiting. I think the patience was there. It was very crafty. I liked it. I said, "Oh man, this looked like an upset in the making." Watching that fight, but I think that the younger, stronger man in that work rate. I talked about that in my prediction. If he was able to reduce Jaime's work rate, which he did, I don't think it was as high, but it was like when Jaime decided he was going to punch and throw, even though a lot of it was, on the gloves or on the arms, or, it was anywhere. It was almost like hit him wherever you can, And he showed, Jaime Munguia actually showed that he has a beard. That man got a chin. And, he did get waxed a couple times, but he has a chin. So, that's what I saw. A very good fight. I think that, that fight, for me, that was the fight of the weekend that I watched. That was, in my opinion, that was the best fight this weekend. The Gabe Rosado, Jaime Munguia fight. I was going back and forth watching the Jaime Munguia and Gabe Rosado fight on the big screen, and watching David and Kyrone on my laptop. So I'm excited about boxing. I think that, big fights are being made. We got a dog fight in Porter and Crawford coming up, which I also put in my 50-50 club. But I'm going to end this video by saying we learned that Munguia and Benavidez are both mortal. Oh, by the way, they robbed that guy at Fort Jose. Jose Benavidez actually lost that fight. And, it's another subject that I really don't want to overshadow this whole video, because I'm trying to keep it positive. But we got to look at these scorecards, because I don't know how they scored that fight, but that guy, Torres or whatever, he actually beat Jose Benavidez. Ring rush showed he has sloppy technique, and he needs to stay active. He needs to stay active. And also the scorecards on the Jaime Munguia and Gabe Rosado, those were kind of wild as well. We know that we can see that if you want to say it was clear that Jaime won that fight? Absolutely. You can say that. But I think that the way they scored, which is a conversation we need to keep having about how they're scoring these fights, is something that we need to actually talk about. And we all need to come to an agreement with how they score these fights. Otherwise, you know, great night of boxing once again. I enjoyed myself. I had fun. And salute to all my diehards, you know, who go beyond casual and who are actually pure boxing fans who just like to see good, pure boxing entertainment. Bodywork.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
I do what I do. He knows what I'm about to tell him right now. It's Mr. Keep running your mouth. That's what I do.
I just feel like I'm the champ, and at the end of the day, I'm just fighting no fucker. It doesn't matter. Inside, outside, I can just fight. So I just feel like if it gets down to the wire, and we gotta lock it up, I'm out on top.
As you can see how I'm looking, I stay solid. I'm always solid. I stay fucked up, man. You know what I'm saying? To the fans that know.
You know, you're Rosado, man. I'm a fighter. Like I said before, ain't no safety on the top, so